Welcome back, everyone, to the beautiful park Georges Valbonne, just outside of Paris to the north in Department Saint-Saint-Denis. That's near to the Charles de Gaulle Airport and Le Bourget Airport, which actually posed a bit of a challenge to get drone flight approval for, so we're very lucky to have that. We're coming back into the backside hole 12 of this 24-hole course, which features a great look back to the Eiffel Tower as we get up to around hole 16. I'm joined back with Paul, and let's hop in for a closer look.
Hey Toffer, yes, it was a great pleasure already to record and comment on the first 12 holes. Let's get into hole 13. We have ourselves a 124 meter par 3. It plays roughly over par, which is kind of surprising to me honestly, because it plays fairly downhill. It plays more like an 80-75 meter hole downhill, but of course you have to hyzer out, as you can see here. So let's see how our feature card will approach this hole, which shot selection they make. For me, it's a backhand with maybe mid-range if you have it, a little bit of a stable one because it's going downhill, so your disc is going to be fast.
Got Johan flexing out. There's no OB on the side, just need the disc to come back, and it seems like he flexed it a bit too far into the hillside.
Does not seem really happy with his throw. Let's see how Mael approaches this shot. Very high.
Very similar, but I think he's going to have the stability to come back.
Disc and catches a tree. I'm really surprised on how they approach it. My approach here, and I think this is the way a lot of players play actually, up slope or down slope, keep the disc parallel to the slope, because otherwise you will get funky flights out of your disc. Dorian is making the mistake by overturning it, maybe also tripling on the T-pad. How were the T-pads for you on this tournament?
For me, I was doing okay, but I did have to step back a little bit. You've got the rain coming in. They were starting to get a little bit slippery. There we go. Leo is just bombing a straight one down.
Seems like the others have dried up the T-pad for him.
There we go, right under the basket. Ooh.
Great throw by Leo. He shows them how it's done. It has had only a little bit of a fade, so I figure it was a mid-range, throwing it straight at it.
To be fair, with my noodle arm, I did have to do the same drive out across the hill, knowing that it was going to come back.
Let's see what the others are doing. This seems like a really tricky shot.
Yeah, I remember Johan had turned it over a bit. There's no OB, but you can get into a tricky situation. He lands clean. That is not OB for this one. That cart path was in.
Yeah, Toffer, great comment to make here. Usually in this park, every road marks an OB line. Here it's not like that. It would make the hole very interesting, and I think we would see more throws going there where Mael is. Also great attempt. Let's see how his putting is going on the back 12. Still feels a little odd to say back 12. We're used to back 9s and front 9s. Oh, misses low on the rim of the basket.
Yeah, a little bounce in, bounce out.
Let's see how Johan is approaching his putt. Yes, keeps it rocking, saves the par. Great approach. It's also something we talked about in the beginning of this coverage. He thanks the basket, gives it a little tap to keep his putter going.
Stepping up. Also coming in to secure his par. Nice and easy.
So in the front 12 we have seen -5 was the leading score. Our feature card is trying to get there. We have Johan with very smart play on the front 12 with a -3. Also here he just said, yeah, I will take the par.
So coming in on 14, we've got a par 3, 87 meters, tucked away off to the right. You've got OB protecting it and a bit of a tree line there. You can do a high out sidearm to let it drop in. Though on our personal card of the day, I watched a turnover that just rode the wave all the way in for an ace. It was super exciting to witness that firsthand. If dropped in right over the trees, so I'm curious to see what our feature card here is gonna come up with.
I think for them it is a stock forehand. Take your most trusted overstable disc, slide it in there, but as we can see, the OB is tight, so the mistake to make is keep it a little low. Let's see how Johan is approaching it.
I think for the sidearm, you got to keep it out left and trust it to come back, just like Johan's right there. Right in front of the camera guy, but it's all good.
Looks
Boom.
great. Park the hole.
one.
And of course you can also see here, I think it's a very great pin placement, right tucked behind these Halloween type trees, the dead trees over there. Dorian is not happy with his forehand, keeps it short.
So, seeing a lot of OB off the gate here. Ooh, that one's turning. I don't. Will it come back? I think. Nope. Double OB there as well.
Yeah, Mael release by Mael. He overcorrected what Dorian did. Dorian kept it short. Mael is in disbelief and now has to take it where he crossed the OB first. So has still got a wide shot.
Oh no, that's
far
looking for another OB right.
I mean, that's a tricky run-up. As you can see, I think the camera does not pay it off, but it was down-sloping, so running up for a forehand is very tricky on that. I wonder whether a standstill would have done better. Let's see how Dorian does, and can he keep up and make the spot for par? Just low.
That was the same shot we saw him having on hole 6, basically, to go up and over. Nice on target for the basket, just not quite enough. And Johan coming in with that shocking high putt.
Yeah, we have not seen him struggle on the putting green, I think. His putts were really solid. He made everything he had to make. Maybe there was one or two low misses. And now taking the par, I think he will not be happy about that. He was really parked. On a player level like he is, this should not happen.
It really seemed like it just came and slipped out of his hands. It just popped up, almost like maybe he had some water on there that held on.
Hole 15, we have ourselves a par 3, 91 meters island hole. On your regular course that you find yourself with faced at your home courses, usually the islands are a little shorter, but we are on a beat here. We have a very fast green, so either you play a putter in there, let it float in there. A lot of players also throwing a berg if you have the arm for it, because it's also a little downhill, but most are playing a spike hyzer. This looks like a great straight shot by Leo.
Very nice. I think that was just that turnover putter shot there. Just let it ride that slow turn in.
It's just a beauty. Also in this rain, what a control of distance. Downhill, 91 meters.
Stepping out. And spike hyzer attempt.
He seems not happy. Maybe it's fading too much.
No.
And as it is with these island holes, of course, he will find himself on the drop zone, which is fairly fair drop zone, I think. They could have made it more tricky, but it's still, I think, edge of circle 1, so not a gimme.
Dorian stepping in with the same, but he did give himself enough distance out to the side and dropping in one more time right next to the basket. This is 3 spike hyzers that he has dropped right next to the basket this tournament.
Yeah, it seems like it's his signature throw and the very overstable discs. I don't know what he was throwing here, but let's recognize this disc. Maybe we'll see him throwing this one more often. Let's see Mael.
Same. Oh, I think he's going to carry a little bit too much. Will he? Oh, no.
Trying.
No.
Oh my god. We have a no here. And also to recognize, I think, what we just have seen here, Mael plugged in his earphones, his headphones. So he's probably chilling on some hype up vibes, because as we can see on the scorecard, it's not working out at the moment. I wonder what his favorite song for hyping him up for disc golf is. If you people watching at home have a song that can get your mood up after a double bogey, put it into the comments, because for Mael it's working.
Yeah, look at that. Holding on, saving par. it really is a very fair drop zone.
Yeah, I think he made it look easy. Of course, it's not so easy, but it's not close to the OB, so it was a great attempt. Johan picking up his bogey after missing his putt.
Alright, Dorian going back down one.
Yeah, it seems like he loves this backhand hyzers.
Yeah, when you have the arm for it like that, you just rip it out there and just watch it, knowing that it's going to come in every time. That's a great feeling.
It's a great shot to trust.
So coming into hole 16, we've got the long one, par 5, 333 meters, bombing in from the top of the hill. You have a Mando here to the left side of the red tee that you just saw, before coming upon a crescent shape here. You need to kind of get across the main gap and then have a nice setup to clear to be able to kind of lay it up there for for either the eagle look or for the birdie.
Yeah, I think eagle is absolutely a viable play for them. It's playing way downhill. Pick up your understable disc, as it seems like for Leon. Hyzer flip it out there, and due to the height, it will lose speed and hyzer out. I think he did a great job here. Also, a great thanks to all the spotters, all the volunteers helping BDO. Yeah, just making it such a great event, spotting, managing also the crowds, because it's a public park. It is very important. And Dorian makes great work of it. Maybe 130, 140 meters now. So that's chopping off of this 330 meter hole.
We saw the first two coming in with almost the exact same shot. Mael is not happy about this one coming in. He's going to find himself off to the side, but he is still in bounds, so it's not hopeless.
Yeah, great thanks to also the TDs. They put up the OB so that we can just enjoy the flight of our discs. It's not tucked in too much. So of course it's about positioning, whether you can attack for eagle or birdie. But it's a very fairway in the beginning, especially from your drive. Afterwards, it snakes itself through the park, and then the placement becomes even more tricky. I think it's a great hole design.
Just starting right here, basically, you've got do you go for it, or do you just go for the long layup into the crescent area? Looks like they're gonna keep it all the way in play there, not risking anything.
I mean, if you want to see how to play it picture perfect, just ask Johan. He is playing the holes as he has a game plan. He is working on it. Seems like making no last second decisions on going more aggressive than he has to. Mael is learning from the veteran and placing his disc next to it. I wonder whether the others are close enough to risk it for potentially an eagle look or just an easy layup birdie. I think they have the distance. Dorian looks like he's going.
Yeah, he's trying to flex it all the way around the crescent there.
But does not get the flex, seems too short and stays OB. From there, it's roughly 130 meters, I think. So if you make it up to the stakes where the OB starts, it's like 120. So they have quite some carry to get over. Let's see, Leon, can he make it? Gets the flex. And he does. He is in bounds.
Quite nice, quite nice. Yes.
I wish I had the arm.
Yeah.
I always went for the snake and played it like Johan, so played the layup to the right. Now Dorian.
Yeah, with missing that first one, I mean, you can almost guarantee he's going to now have to go all the way across to try to get as close as he can to make up for it. Luckily, he's got the arm to do that, no problem. But, he looks like he has slipped. Yeah, that is not going to bode well.
And even for the number one in France, 110 meter shot, it can get onto you if you're not fully focused. If maybe also the footing, I mean, it is wet, it has been raining. Also, it's hole 16 and we're not close to the end, so keep up the focus. It's a draining 24 hole parkour.
Since he opted to completely traverse the OB, he didn't even get a change in position. But luckily, that comeback, he was able to park it. Johan's going to keep that smart play up, keeping it the disc following the inbounds line, never really risking it too much, and he's got a great layup there, good putt.
And what makes this eagle play and also the birdie play even more viable is that the grass, as you can see, is very thick here around this basket. But be aware, if you overthrow this basket, there is, as you can see, just the edge of the slope. So we have our eagle putt here, going for it, risking it, but having great distance on it, making sure not to reach the edge because down there OB is lurking.
Little jump putt from Mael, and he gets it for the birdie. Good secure birdie to get that back.
Finally we see ourselves a replay. What a pleasure. I mean, and these baskets, they just fit so well into the park. They should be there all day, all year, no?
Yeah.
Do we have actually ourselves a permanent course here? Do you know more of that?
Yeah, so the permanent course does play from the same tee pad, but the basket actually that we're playing to now is just here for the tournament, as you can see there. So normally this hole is actually playing a right-hand dog leg from into what's actually going to be the basket of the next hole as we get to it. So we'll see that. But it's still, I mean, it's a beautiful course just to go and play in the normal setup with or without the tournament situation ongoing.
So seeing our feature card cash in their scores, we saw Leo after his eagle bit getting the birdie. Then we saw Dorian with his double OB, maybe a lack of focus, maybe the slippery feet, we don't know yet, getting his double bogey. And Johan showing us how to play it safe without making these big mistakes. We are here at hole 17 now, talking about mistakes. For hole 17, they are licking their jaws. It's just a 95-meter low ceiling. It's what the French way of disc golf is. For me as an Austrian player, this is something I have discovered traveling in France and playing tournaments. They love their forest low ceiling, straight penetrating backhand hyzer flips. And I mean, you can see it here.
Yeah, just got to get it in. All the tree line's pretty low. For me, coming from North Carolina, 90% of what I'm used to is playing wooden tunnel shots, so this almost feels open to me. but it's a beautiful straight shot. You need to get it below the tree line, and we see him flexing out. Unfortunately, at the end there, it's a little bit slick, making it out to the OB.
Mael on kind of a journey. He is really trying to fight after each and every missed throw. Let's see what Johan is doing. Great. So the tricky part about this hole is that, of course, you, as you can see, you have a little island, not playing as an island, but an island of trees, a little grouping, which keeps you honest, and you have to keep the disc flat. Let's see Dorian's drive. Seems like a mid-range to me. Overcooked it a little, maybe an MD3. I don't know his back so well, but at least I'm throwing this as well, so it looked very similar, this flight.
Yeah, just taking a little layup putt at this point. You can still see the rain coming down quite heavily. It never really let up.
Let's see whether Mael can cash in for his par save from the OB. Oh. And he does. I'm so happy to see him coming back. He's running it in. Maybe mini raptor legs. Don't know whether his playstyle is similar to Ricky Wysocki, but he's definitely a momentum player, as we can say. It's really great to see him catching up after having really, really tough holes, and then always finding great putts, something to claw on to keep tight.
Leo keeping it strong with the birdie. Coming in now, we've seen 3 in a row for him. He is actually just completely on fire now in this back 12.
Yeah, cashing in the turkey, as some of us call it, no? There is also something I would like to invent. I don't know whether other people agree. I would like to call 3 pars in a row chicken, but maybe the crew here is d'accord with it, because of course they're also using the chicken memes. enough with the random thoughts of mine, and back to par putts from Dorian. Now everyone has cashed in their putts.
So this hole 18 that we're coming to, not the end of the course. Par 3, 108 meters. You have a kind of right flex shot to get, once you cross the initial OB, to come back to get up there. Or you have a forehand that you can leave out long to get around the tree if possible. But in general, you need you start off needing to cross OB. It's forced, and you need to make it to that green island basically before you're in the safe.
Yeah, totally agree. Toffer, you made a great hole breakdown. Very safely played by Leo. Maybe in his practice rounds he just said, I will play this for par. Let's see Johan play this one. This is more of the attack line. Playing, as you already mentioned, the more aggressive line. The line, I think, the only line that can really reach the basket, it is a flex line. If you play the forehand, I think you can make it to the edge of circle 1. But the backhand is the line that can reach it. Now, Heiser out. He will have a low ceiling putt.
Yeah, just didn't have enough stability to get back. I think he forced it over a little bit.
But maybe Mael can ride this momentum again. And Dorian,
very straight bro, sliding it up in there.
Looks like a mid-range again.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just outside of circle 1. So
let's see whether Leo can keep up his birdie streak. Playing it way too low. Maybe he's really just playing it. Maybe this is his game plan, and I think then it's really, really smart. Even though you are off pace or on pace, whatever your score is, if you have a game plan, stick to it, play smart, receive one or two chickens from the DISCUS crew, but play what you have planned. Dorian seems like he has not played what he has planned. Going over the basket.
Oh, Johan going for it, making the attempt, and he had a good run, but just a little outside on the chain, so bounce out. He'll take his par and keep going though.
Yeah, everybody is cashing in, and now heading off to the next hole. It is a little journey through the woods, through the vegetation of the Parisian surroundings. Let's see the last putt. Oh no.
Dorian have another bit of a moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah, he's really not happy.
Leo holds on to that par. Again, he played that safety layup, just to not run into that.
Yeah, I mean, in situations in like the one Dorian is in, it's tricky to catch back.
From top competition to the new players. From supporting women to funding new courses. PDGA Europe is much more than competition. Visit pdga.com/join and grow the sport.
And we are back on our course, hole 19. It's a fun one. The drone is flying the more conservative line. There is a Heiser line you can throw if you have the arm for it. It's a 104-meter hole, playing maybe even slightly downhill, but you have a very small gap you want to hit. Here you can see now the OB stakes. It's very tightly tucked in. If you Heiser out too early, you are in the OB, so I think the mistake to make if you play the Heiser line is to play it long and then from the trees see what you get. And you of course also have a down sloping hill. But then
I think that's the exact line that Leo's attacking there.
Great play. There is also what I just wanted to say, is there's an inside line. You can throw a flex line, backhand flex line. Here we will see it. No, they're all throwing the hyzer line.
Yeah, the hyzer line just over the top.
Looking at numbers, hole 19 actually played as the hole that was birdied most. Can you imagine this? For me, it's kind of odd to see this, but apparently this is just a stock hyzer for the MPO at BDO 2025. Is this inbounds? It's at least very posh.
Very, very close there.
40% of players birding this hole.
I think when you look at it, you have the OB that's there on the left, so you don't want to finish early, but there's besides having a bad shot, there's no penalty for going long. So with these guys with the arms, you know, they can just bomb it out there and let the stability bring it back at the end.
And Mael played OB. It was really close, but made the par putt. So I think you're making a great point here while watching Mael cash in his par putt. Is that if you're too short, but you hyzer in, you might be crossing close to the basket. So from there you have a pretty safe par putt. I mean, at the others are cashing in their birdie. It seems like they seem really parked. They're showing us why this hole played as the easiest hole of the 24. Dorian cleaning up his blue disc, his blue putter. Do you know what he's putting with?
No, I didn't grab a look at it. Maybe we'll see as he's picking it up.
Probably as all Discmania players, they're just playing what Gannon Bird is playing. Tell us something about hole 20.
So hole 20 is playing a par 4. I think this one's called the half pipe, as you can see here. You've got gentle rolling hills on either side. If you have that roller shot that you can get to break out of the tree line and get down in here, you need to cross the open area before making your way down back into the trees, and then you have a finish on the right. If you get stuck somewhere in the middle of that grass area, you do have a kind of backdoor entry into the other side, but it is not the play that you're looking for.
Let's see Leo's drive. There's also, of course, the low ceiling understable throw, and Leo loves these shots. Yeah, and it was a great shot. You just have to have it on a slight hyzer and it will skip forward, and your goal is to get out of the woods to have the shot selection of your choice.
Oh, so Johan slipping there, he comes in, but it's okay. He fought through, and he's actually going to have a really good look at the tunnel shot. I actually did land on the top of the hill myself when I came through there, and actually in the tunnel shot look was quite nice. So if you can't get it all the way out in the roller, it's another one to think of, is just clearing out, get out of that tree line.
And Dorian plays the roller, does exactly what you explained, has now all the choices. Maybe he goes, and I think he will go backhand spike hyzer. We have seen him doing this. Maybe he will even go to the pink disc he was throwing. Let's see what's next. Mael is also opting for the roller.
Yeah, I think
it's fighting out.
Yeah, he just unfortunately caught the early branches. I think it took away a lot of his speed, so he just didn't quite get it out there as much. But he's cleared the tree line, and he's going to have a good look at the tunnel.
Exactly. Let's see what Johan is doing. Maybe he will just play for par here. He has been the player to play safe. Yeah. But his safe play, if it was a safe play, I don't know. Cannot tell from here. But he made it to circle 2.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit on the low side entering. He entered right at the entranceway to the tunnel, so yeah, I would say that's probably the safe one. Otherwise, you'd float it down a bit further.
And as we can see, our players here are opting for an overstable sidearm, throw it straight, let it penetrate. This is way too high. Can this fight through? No, the trees catch it. So your goal is to throw a low, very stable disc and let it skip up the mount. And as we talked about it, the pink disc in Dorian's hands, he will throw a spike hyzer.
Yeah, there's a little gap right there that you can see, like where the V kind of happens. You can cut through, and unfortunately it seems that he got grabbed pretty early on, so he's going to be just inside. I mean, he'll still have a putt, let's say.
Johan going for it, hitting the tree, skipping down. So let's see whether he will be able to recover and take the par. Leo going for it, but keeping it high up on the mountain. I think it's a safe bid.
Yeah, he had a good run. It was a bit of a partial obstruction there.
Let's see, Mael.
Mael, same kind of thing. Oh, and there he goes. Look at that birdie drop.
He is just an amazing player. It's really just up to consistency what he is, at least in this tournament. He is until now a little bit lacking the consistency because his putting is great. When the putter is flying, I mean, he is finding chains.
Not happy with that one. You can see it. He put his head down, quick turn away.
Let's see Johan, his comeback. Yeah, he was rolling down after his attack. This was the first time I think we really saw Johan attacking from a lie where he was actually quite far. And he pays the price. Pays the price.
Yeah.
So
I think he kind of had to do that one though. You know, he was trying to save his par. So
yeah. I mean, that's a tricky one, right? Sometimes you should also just be okay with a bogey. But now he will find himself the bogey and not the par he could have looked for. 2 blue discs in the basket. I think it was not him putting both, but picking up the disc for Dorian. That's what we love to see in cards. So, hole 21, a very tricky one. I don't want to see it anymore. This hole has really blown up my round. It's a really tricky one. It looks very simple. 79 meters, playing a little bit over par. You would figure it's very easy, but you have a low ceiling and then you have to get out of this gap. So there's 2 options. I think if you have the disc for it, take your mid-range, your flipping mid-range and let it hyzer flip up. I think this is exactly what we are seeing here by Mael. Or if you have the sidearm, which we will see by Leo, I think that's the safer option. But he plays it very high on the mount.
Yeah. That was very conservative, but he gets through.
Great ground play. Really great ground play. I wonder whether this was intentional. Let's see Dorian.
You can kind of see it there when you're in. It's such a small window out to the right that you have to like focus. Don't hit those early low branches.
And Dorian shows us how it's played. He parks the hole and it's a great comeback because he seemed really unmentaled. Now he's trying to fight back. And Johan, what a great shot. Wow, went striking through the basket. I wonder whether he was throwing driver, fairway or distance driver, I don't know. But it seems like a really speedy choice for this hole.
It almost seems like he really expected it to hit a little bit early and get the skip, but it did not hit. He glided right through.
Now some approaches, maybe even birdies. This is a tricky putt. Putting, like, it's low ceiling, high ceiling, it's all the ceilings it feels like. It was a really tricky one. Now they're just umbrellaing their discs into the basket and trying to get to the last 3 holes. No, they were probably struggling to find their discs, but now in between the bushes we find the drive by Johan. Let's see whether he can birdie.
Ooh, good attempt actually.
It seems like Johan now in the last holes he changed his strategy and is attacking for more birdies. Dorian with his great forehand drive parks it and makes it count. So, what's your opinion? How are they playing until now in the rain, in this temperature?
Well, you know, you gotta imagine there's a lot of nerves on the line here. We have quite a few of them going up and down, so consistency-wise, it doesn't feel there, though on the back nine, Leo has come in super strong. Pretty much all birdies across the board, besides 1 par, hasn't had anything blown apart, and is currently sitting -4, which, as we saw going into the segment, I'd say that was like right there in the lead.
Hole par 4, hole 22. What's your opinion on that?
So this is the one where you need to make the Mando, which is actually pretty far out. I think you've got around 85 meters to the Mando there that you see on the far right, but you also have an OB line. So with these guys with the big arms, getting it way out there over the OB and flexing around the Mando just like that. Don't go OB long. Oh my goodness. Such an arm. Such an arm. He is just crushing that disc and going full OB long while making the Mando.
I hope we will also see human plays. This looks more human to me.
That does.
But challenging the Mando.
Did he pass the Mando?
I think so. We have not seen any signs on our screen, so it seems like he passed the Mando. There's also this straight, flat throw, maybe with even like a mid-range. We see here not much. I think this is just perfect placement shot. He's opening with all options. What does Johan do here?
Oh, got the big Anheuser flex there. Seemed like it came out early, and he is laid up, I guess you could say. Let's call that a layup. You can see it. It came out of his hand early.
He's laughing about it. He's like, this is exactly what I planned. Now watch me execute the next shot. Going through the trees, and yes, you have a line to your right.
Sneaky route.
A sneaky route. Yeah, let's not call it line. Maybe a window of opportunity. Let's see what Leo is doing. I mean, he has all the options. He has the basket inside. But what I also wanted to mention in the whole breakdown, on our back 12, this is the hardest hole. It is playing almost a stroke over par. And Mael,
he just totally turned that over, like full rotation of the wrist. Really just flipped it. Yes. And got an unlucky branch.
I mean, this is a really tricky hole. It's unbelievable how Dorian made it there. I mean, this line, I've never ever thought about this line.
Like,
great.
If you look at this one, this is sure his third shot, right? So compared to the other ones, like he took that OB line and it's just like, okay, well this is just like a casual approach for most people.
Exactly, and now he's putting for par with an OB stroke. Exactly. This is how far he's throwing. Great to watch. What about Johan? With his unconventional play on this hole. Yeah, in circle 1, putting for par. Let's see Mael.
He's gonna do the make back now from several OB hits there. We'll make it sliding down the hill.
Attacking.
Circle 1. Yeah.
He is attacking. He's not happy with his score at the moment. What about Leo? I mean, he's playing really well. Taking the par, taking almost one stroke on the field.
Hopefully Mael can knock this in and just get this one out of the way.
And I also want to correct what I was saying there. It's half a stroke he's taking on the field and not one stroke. I'm just looking at the replay of Mael doing exactly that. We have seen a lot of replays of Mael putting. Yeah. What's your opinion on that?
No, he's got a great putting game. It's really nice to watch those just float their way into the basket.
And then seeing Johan, I mean, he is on line but a little too low. I mean, this is what this basket is going to do to you on this mount.
2 in a row.
Dorian is really off his pace, off his regular form. You can really see he's unhappy. I hope that he will catch up and will show us tomorrow what's really in his game, because it's a great game, I can promise you. Hole 23. Now this is also the CTP hole. So if you don't know what a CTP is, it's where your drive lands, and the drive that was the closest to the basket wins the CTP. So there is usually some discs and goodies to win. It's only a 58 meter hole, but the tunnel is really, really tight. And there was only one birdie on this hole. Maybe we'll see it on this card, maybe not. Let's see. A sidearm play. Really interesting. I have not thought about this. I wonder where the line to find is there. Let's see, Dorian. Probably a flip-up putter play.
Yeah,
but hits the tree.
Yeah, a little bit too flipped up there.
Johan. Also leaving it too high, little too nose up. Did we miss Mael? I've not seen him tee off here, no?
Yeah, I feel like we missed him.
But maybe he's also really far away, so maybe he was also too much nose up. But let's see him putt up. Yeah, it's just a 58-meter hole. Even though you are not making the gap, you can approach and should have an easy par if you're on the level of their game.
Should, yes. Though we see that even when you're on the feature card coming in, it can be a tricky one to do, especially if you're more used to like longer open holes and not these tight tunnel shots.
Yeah, I totally agree, and this is also what this 24-hole course has kind of to bring with. It's a great variety of shots, shot shaping, different forms of holes, basically going left, right, up, down, baskets being placed on various surfaces. And Dorian is catching up for his bogey putt. I mean, look at Dorian's scorecard, it's crazy. He has multiple bogeys, even a double bogey, and still only being 2 over par. So he's only 6 strokes away at this point from Leo, who is really fighting well and playing well. So I think he's not out of this game.
Yeah, the other two just pulling in their par, but we'll see what's happening here for Dorian as we come into hole 24. We've got 189 meters long par 4, and as you can see, this one is not playing within par with an average of more than 1 stroke over, a 5.27. It is a fairly long, narrow hyzer shot to go through to land yourself in a placement. Then you've got quite a bit of trees blocking your straight shots, so you need to sneak in from either the right or the left, and you're finishing off with such a narrow tail of this snake here that they're going to try to hit.
You're totally right, Toffer. So for these big arms, I would call them, it's a very stock with a very overstable disc. They're even flexing it, throwing it straight, but the goal here is to hyzer out because the fairway opens up there, a skip on the OB road right into dead center of the fairway. Great shot.
Yeah, that was pretty perfect.
I think they can go even farther if they want to. I mean, maybe they will just disc down to mid-range fairway drivers. I think they can go even further. Mael throwing quite high.
Yeah. I think that one, hopefully that's going to stay in and not cut to the OB. Oh, are we right on the edge? I think that's going to be in. I think that's, yes, there we go. It's a good break there from Mael. He didn't quite get the turnover on that one. But looking at Johan here, let's see what he's got going on. Oh, and he gets too much turn, flips that thing right over. Well, will he pull it? Nope.
Yeah, the disc was trying to cut roll back. Let's see Dorian. I think with his score, he is going to risk it for the biscuit. Let's see how far he will go. Nice hyzer flip. Now it has to fade out to stay in bounds. Skips in the OB and gets back. Great shots. Now they will have to throw into a very, very tight landing zone. As you can see, this row of trees at the end of this row, in the middle between 2 roads covered by OB, that's their goal. Johan playing it very safe, little too short, I think 30 meters, 20 meters.
Yeah, he's going to have to fight with the trees now. The others are very likely going to do this right side attack. There's the open side of the basket, and if you keep it out over the OB and get it to slide in, just like what you see what he's going for. I didn't see quite there at the end where after it dropped.
And you can even depend on the trees kind of. They are so dense that you, if you want to, can throw a little bit of a higher disc and let it trickle down through the trees. Then Leo keeping it a little short, honestly. I think shorter than he wants to. Dorian only with a standstill. This is his power, his distance. Let's see his accuracy. Trusting the disc, overstable putter, I would assume. Great shot, stay inside, let's go. This should be a birdie and a good one to finish up the round and get some momentum for tomorrow's round.
You see what I was talking about here with the left and right. If you have that center shot, you are blocked by all the trees. So now Johan's got the need to get around everything, which he does pretty good and rolls right up into circle one. So good scramble action out to the outside, trusting that disc to come back.
Yeah, and rounding up his round now, 2 even par. Leo playing a pitch up, nothing else to find here than a par. Let's see Dorian finish up his round with a birdie. Great to see. Only 1 over par in the end, playing really up and down, just like Mael. Let's see whether he can get a birdie. Yes, he can.
Go. Bringing that score back down, evening them out.
So both of them not out of the round, just like Johan. This course played really, really tough today, in the rain, in the wind, and also the 24 holes. I think people and players are not used to that.
Being safe though at the end, finishing out for that par, staying 4 under, while the others, well, either went down a little bit or come up, but finishing out at +1 total. But man, it was rolling back and forth here that we saw. Taking a look at the leaderboard, we can see Leo actually is holding on, coming in at 5 under, and we'll head into the finals.
So it's a 5 under on the back 12, but in total it's a 4 under. Right after him, close to him, it's Silva and Gorge with 3 under. So those two will be making the lead card for tomorrow's round. I'm hyped for another round of 24 holes. It's great to see so much disc golf. There is more disc golf to play, and what I can promise you is better weather for the next day and hopefully lower scores.
Yeah, hopefully. I think almost any weather could have been better than this. It really was playing in a downpour the whole time, so we'll see how the day goes. It'd be great to watch the folks who've battled it out across their various cards come together for that lead card tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we are happy to see you for the next round. Enjoy your time. Maybe for you it's only a few minutes away. For us it's some recordings. See you in Paris. See you at BDO 2025 second round of disc golf.